to Carrock Common in Hesket, Newmarket. Now, behind us you'll see the Carrock Fell and Hyde Pike. And the property we're here today to see is a 4 bedrooms, stunning property surrounded with barns, woodland and everything else. And look to the side of me here. We've even got a collection of fell ponies which are coming over to say hi. So what we're going to do now is we're going to follow and walk in so that I can show you a little bit of the beginning of this property. So let's start just here. We've got this wonderful 17th century property. It's a Cumbrian longhouse. We're surrounded by some of the most beautiful stone barns. 4 acres of land. There are paddocks that go with it, which is pasture land, so absolutely idyllic. There is even a huge cost saving with the use of a log gasification biomass boiler system, which is bringing in around about £5,000 a year to the current owner, as it's a commercial capacity system. That means that, in my thoughts, you could probably run a very large house for very, very little. And what we also get, if you can just turn the camera this way, we get to have all of these fells that surround us everywhere. It is absolutely majestic, and a lot of beautiful fell ponies. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take you around the entire plot and show you everything, and I hope you like it. Okay, so here we go. As I said in my very over-exuberant style, we are surrounded by all of this mountain backdrop. Now, this is on camera. I know on camera you can barely ever see it properly, but it's huge here. It's almost like you're standing right at the bottom of the actual fell itself. And we're on Carrock Common, and this house even has grazing rights. So if you had ponies or something like that, then you could join the absolutely stunning fell ponies that we saw just a moment ago. Now, it's surrounded by woodland and walled all the way around. What a place to be. Now, I've said this a million times before. I am very, very lucky. I get to see properties like this every day. And this is something that's got something so endearing and so special about it that, well, just watch the video and you'll see. So, one thing to note, there is no public footpath through the centre of this property. Your property is your property. There is a small public footpath at the very, very front of the site, but that doesn't impact on your daily enjoyment of this. So this is what I would classify as being a standalone dwelling in the Lake District National Park. So as we come into this first courtyard, the current vendor painstakingly put back together this entire courtyard. And just to give you a scan round, a lot of barns that are stunning, just beautifully presented. This is the main house, but as an addition to the main house, you have this absolutely vast barn, which I'll show you momentarily, which fills the expanse. And that has the potential, subject to the relevant planning consents, to be converted into the main dwelling, which would make the main house an absolutely epic sized house. I mean, it's great now, 4 bedrooms, but has all of the potential to be significantly bigger if you wanted to. This is being used as a very as a working office, and every day it's being used, which is great. So if you want that live, work, home environment, then you've got it in bag loads. Now, rarely do I start just outside, but I'm going to today because the gardens here are to die for. Now, I've got to put my brain back in action, because we have pretty much every fruit that I could think of in here. So we have fig tree, an apricot tree. We've got fruiting strawberries. There are raspberries, a selection of berries across the back. These up the side of the back of this barn, enjoying and lapping up this beautiful sunshine through the tree canopy. Pears, we have plums, we have various different types of apple. We're surrounded by stunning tree line and space, but you'd think, and you'd look from the outside where it seems to be very well protected by the tree line, that it's going to be dark. It is not. It is an absolute baked sun trap. And these flower beds, these vegetable beds could be put to some really good use. I'm now going to take you just for a quick look at something which I believe will resonate with the person that's looking for this type of thing. So we've got a lovely bit of woodland over here, which is fantastic. As we break through the tree line and come here, this paddock, which is approximately half an acre, also comes here. Now it's nice and flat. It looks over this entire mountain landscape and has the potential for maybe pods, yurts, something holiday orientated, because would you not want to see that view every day? Absolutely. So there is a different type of potential. We then go back and dip through some more woodland. It's a very secret garden, this. My children would have the best time ever running around in here, making dens and all of the other bits that you would do as a kid. Now, there are various seating areas throughout because there are stunning views all the way round. This building over here, which very much looks like a garage, the current owners had put a little utility room in there. But my thoughts are, if you're looking at potential for leisure and hospitality, then you have pretty much got a fully functional kitchen. And the back end of this is being used for storage of lawnmowers and bits, but that could be loos. So is there almost a half ready-made leisure opportunity here? So I'm going to keep going. As I've promised, we're standalone. We sit quite elevated here as well. And all the way around in every direction is rolling hills and mountains. Now, we've got another paddock, which is 2 acres. Now, the likelihood of getting this for holiday consent may be slightly harder, but that would all be subject to planning. But it's a lovely green paddock, which would be, which has spectacular views everywhere. So, we're going to go back into the courtyard now, and I will start to then go round to the back and show you a bit more. Okay, so back into the courtyard. Now, there's going to be a few minutes in this video, but I'm going to show you into here shortly. I'll show you into the office shortly, but I'm going to start at this point here, which will initially show you this log gasification biomass boiler system. So as we enter into here, this is where the magic happens. So this is a log fed heating system which looks after all of the heating for the property. Now, as I've previously said, it gives you about £5,000 a year on minimal usage, and the more you use it, the more you get back. That we'll touch on to if you want to ring us for further information. I'm going to give you now the first glimpse of the house, and then I'll show you these. These are 2 identical storage areas which have been concrete floored. And I mean, the one thing that you'll notice if you look at this video, the current owner has kept everything in absolutely immaculate condition, and that means you have half a job done already. So what I'm going to do now is take you through this barn, and I'm not even going to show you it, but I'll show you it at the end. And come through here, because this is truly where you get to see how absolutely stunning this property is. And that is what we would call a very, very pretty Cumbrian longhouse. Absolutely beautiful. They've got wonderful gardens all around, and the first thing that the vendors wanted to mention to me is that they've got resident red squirrels here, and that means that the habitat that's here must be really well looked after and loved. And as such, it's a wildlife haven and a place where, well, it feels like a human haven as well. I'd love to stay here. We've got fruiting trees everywhere. There's nothing here that doesn't befit a country secret garden. And I've even got these little slate steps through this garden space here, and then show you how this all sits out. So going back now, I'm going to go into the courtyard and show you the office. Let's start there. So as we enter back here, we're back into this side of the courtyard. So nice things to mention. a very large open carport. Fantastic for storing cars or whatever you could need. We have the entrance now into the into this great office space. So just to give you a bit of a view round, we have in here a nice usable loo. Downstairs here is being used as a bit of a comfortable getaway, I think, somewhere to relax. And we have a staircase which leads up to this very, very special room. And it's great. Got a kitchenette over here, and it's a great area, obviously, for working and making sure that you've got a private little escape to get as much work done as you can, but in one of the most wonderful settings. How lovely. So I'm going to now show you inside the other barns that are there. So I'll just come through and we'll go into the house towards the end. And some of you will be saying, come on, David, get on with it, go and have a look. But there's so much to see. The house is such a fantastic part of it, but there's so much out here which has further potential. So there's a nice room in here. We've got another large workshop in here, complete with a staircase that takes us upstairs to a little whopper of a room. And potentially, now I'm going to say we're in the Lake District National Park. If you did want to create something here, as in the potential for holiday lets or something along those lines, then this is all strictly subject to planning. And you must research that before considering. But in my opinion, you have a wonderful standalone location here that, with the right planning consultant, hopefully could give you that next step to get consent on a full courtyard. Or if you're very much like me and you don't want any neighbours whatsoever, then keep this, enjoy it, and use the space that you've got and the buildings you've got to maintain these wonderful grounds. Now, I'm now going to go and take you, last but by all means not least, into this wonderful period property. So let's go in. So the door that I've chosen to use takes us into the kitchen, and that obviously overlooks the courtyard where we were a moment ago. It's great. So the kitchen's a very country feeling kitchen, but the standard is lovely. So it looks like a handmade kitchen, which is nice. We've got some nice, looks like granite work surfacing. And what country house is not complete without an Aga? Now the thing that I've got a bit of envy over in here is this is the utility room, which is absolutely huge. Now, it's about as big as the kitchen again. So I don't know if having a giant utility room is not your thing, then even halving this would give you another space in for a study or something like that. But in here, we also have great views over towards the garden. So coming into this next area, we've got a formal dining room, but this is beautiful. And you don't get these in many houses, but this is a little rest that would have been over a fire to be able to attach pots to be able to put over the fire to cook on. And the fact that that is still in situ is rather lovely. I mean, you can tell the age of this building by some of the fire surrounds. We've got a nice wooden floor on here, and lovely wooden windows as well. So stone staircase, and we'll go up there momentarily, but entering into this first sitting room, it's really, really pretty. You've got the nice original cupboards either side of this fireplace, but that as a picture on its own is quite wonderful. And I have noted that there are nice window shutters as well, so keeping that characterful feel. We've got a great flooring as well, and then, well, another office. But I'm going to come into this part, and we've got a nice tiled fireplace, not quite of the period, but it's definitely got some age to it. And this mantle is lovely with a little inset fir cone. But these wooden cabinets that just people have ripped out at certain ages are in place, which gives that historical feel. And even things when you look at the glass, there's ripples in the glass, which you know have been there for a couple of 100 years at least. And great wooden shutters to save having to hide those wonderful windows with curtains. So let's have a look at the final part here. We've got a nice coat room, boot room, and a little cloakroom in here. Nice plain white suite, so nothing that would need to be changed. So let's have a peek upstairs now. Sandstone steps. These are, without doubt, the cleanest, most perfect shaped stairs in a house, an old farmhouse I've been in for ages, and even complemented with this nice exposed stonework here. Absolutely lovely. We have a very large bathroom, and it's complete with a bath, shower, and everything else you could need. And again, nice wooden flooring. This great size bedroom, complete with, again, window shutters everywhere, little nods to some of the original beamwork, and a fireplace which has got quite a bit of age to it. I mean, again, we're in an old period building, and as such, it's lovely to see so many features in this place. So we have another great size bedroom and holds a double very comfortably. Another double bedroom, and this one is even complete with a little ensuite, which again is nice and plain white, so not something you would need to rip out and change. We've got a lot of beams here, there and everywhere, and look at this. It's a triple beam. No RSJs back in the day, so fantastic. And look at the size of this as well. All the iron straps on there just to give stability. And now, one of my favourite rooms in the entire house. As you come in here, beams, huge, great flooring, views over towards your courtyard and the barns and that wonderful scenery. And it even has a very nice ensuite. Now, there's something which I have briefly mentioned, but this also comes with a cottage. So I'm just going to stop here and go and take you into the cottage. So here we are. We have a pretty little cottage. It's just attached to the end of the main house. And even Donna trying to pull a cameo appearance there. It's attached to the end of the house. It's rather lovely. The current owners did have it rented out for a while. They went through a refurbishment program, but haven't let it for a little while. But this is ready and would be a fantastic holiday let. So we've got a nice loo and shower here. A great little kitchen, which is nice and clean and tidy. And this quite nice sitting room, which is just overlooking the garden space to the rear. That garden is stunning. So what a nice cottage. I mean, for multi-generational living, or for your teenager, or for a holiday let, or a permanent let to get a bit of income in, it's in beautiful condition. So there's nothing you need to do. This is a walk-in ready. Now we have got something slightly unusual. We have a master bedroom with a dual aspect window, and then a set of concertina doors which lead into another bedroom. So if you were a small family on holiday, or you had guests stay, then this would be a fab place. Now, I'm going to finish looking over towards that barn, because that's where I'm heading next. Okay, so we're just leaving the main house, and as I promised, let's go into the barn. So I've left the barn till last because there's a few things I want to recap on. We've clearly got a beautiful 4-bedroom house. There's a 1.5 bedroom cottage, a wonderful detached office, 4 acres of land, another significant barn with potential. But this barn is adjoining the main residence. So I'm just going to step back here for a moment. And this completely adjoins So we have a lovely, beautiful sized Cumbrian longhouse, but do we have something extra? The potential to extend and expand into this rather fantastic barn is significant. And as with everything, the vendor in this property has looked after everything. This is the cleanest barn I think I've ever seen. All the beams are straight and well looked after and look as if they've been treated. The walls are fantastic. Now, I don't like to sow too many seeds into people's minds, but just imagine that the main house and the access through here, which is the current utility room, this suddenly became your kitchen space. And this rather large opening here, which overlooks the gardens, became the huge view space that you can have overlooking your garden area. And I'm just going to open this door just to prove a point. Maybe I'm not. I'll go to the next door and show you. So if you had that as an opening looking out towards your garden, you would have all of this, but I'm going to zoom in. You have sneaky peaks of different areas which bring out some of the mountaintops. It is stunning. I mean, this end part here as an annex has got that potential. Clearly, again, we're in the Lake District National Park. It's going to be subject to planning. But the whole space here is fantastic and adjoins directly the main house. So as in adding it rather than creating a new dwelling, I can't see from a planning perspective why that would cause too many issues. So that is us. We have now explored several thousand square feet of barn space and building space. We are looking at one of the prettiest cottages. There is plenty of land, plenty of opportunity, and some of the most breathtaking views. If you are interested in this property, please do give us a call on 01768 881111, and we will be absolutely delighted to discuss this with you further. Thank you.